In today's video, guys, we are talking about Arsenal player ratings in FIFA 23. I'm going to make some bold predictions. We certainly have improved. If you think not last season, the season before, we finished 8th in the league. We had a massive window, a massive improvement. We came 5th, should have been 4th. And now in this new season, we're looking very good. We're top of the league, the only team with a 100% record. And I'm very, very excited about the future for this team. So why not have a bit of fun? Let's make some predictions. And of course, if you disagree with me, which I'm sure a lot of people will, get in the comments, get in the Discord as well. There is a link in the description to join the MGH United Discord. I would love to know your Arsenal ratings. And I might move on to do some other teams. But first of all, what I should do is go over to the current ratings in FIFA 22. I'm going to be using comparisons from the beginning of FIFA 22 to FIFA 23, but this is what players are rated now in career mode, for example, after a season of upgrades, basically. So it's just so you guys can see roughly where the players are at the moment. So Ramsdale's 81, Cedric's 75. You can just pause the video if you want to look at anyone specific, but there's a few players here that were rated really, really low at the start of the season. For example, Ramsdale, when FIFA 22 came out, he was 74 rated. He's now up to 81 by the end of FIFA 22. Players like Erdegaard, 83 still, would have seen an upgrade by now, I would have thought. So there is a good look at most of the players in the squad that I'm going to be talking about today. But I think it's the best place to start off with. We're going to start with Ramsdale. So as usual, the first card you see, or the first design, the first rating, is from the beginning of FIFA 22 when the game came out. 74 rated silver, off the back of a few relegations. I kind of get it. He was actually downgraded. He was 75 and then went to 74. So from gold to silver. And there was a video, he did a video with the England channel on YouTube, and he was fuming about this. So what do I think he's going to be at the beginning of FIFA 23? I've gone ahead and upgraded him to 81. He is 81 right now at the end of FIFA 22. I don't know if he's quite at 82, maybe. But I'm not going to go overboard with these rating predictions. I actually think 81 is pretty fair. I don't see him being less than 81. If he's made it that far in FIFA 22, it can only go up, right? So maybe he will get the 82, maybe even 83. But I think 81 would be more than fair. He's a fantastic goalkeeper. We've seen specifically at the start of the last season, he was incredible. I think he had some tough moments towards the end. So I think 81 is about fair. Then up next, we have Turner, our brand new signing from America. Of course, he wasn't at Arsenal at the beginning of the season, but he was 75 rated. I've gone ahead and kept him at 75 rated. I don't know enough about Turner. I've only seen some YouTube highlights, and clearly the team or the staff rates him highly enough to have him as our new backup. It's a downgrade on Leno. It is, that's for sure. I'm not sure he's going to get an upgrade in rating, but you never know. It's just not a player I know enough about, so we'll just stick with his current rating. I think a non-rare gold is about right. Then up next, we have Tierney. He was rated 80, a rare gold at the beginning of FIFA 22. What is my rating for Tierney for FIFA 23? I'm going with 81. I think that is a more than justified upgrade. I think most Arsenal players will simply get a +1 this year, minimum, because we have had an improved season. But Tierney was out injured for large parts of the season again. But when he played, he really did show what he's got. He's a great player. But with Zinchenko coming in, which we'll talk about shortly, I think it's going to be a little bit more difficult for Tierney to get in consistently. But I think it's a good thing. He's an injury-prone player, but when he plays, he's very good. I think 81 is about right. Up next, we have Gabriel, 79 rated with the spray-on hairline. We've all seen this season he's definitely losing his hair. I think he needs a trip to Turkey to get his hairline done. 79 rated, I thought, was quite fair at the time. He had a pretty decent start to his Arsenal career, but we saw last year he's improved massively. So for FIFA 23, I've given him an 82 rating. Again, I think that's just a fair enough rating. It could technically be higher. He was the top scoring defender in the Premier League, right, last season, or at least top scoring centre-back. And he had a very solid season with Ben White. So I think a +3 is more than fair. And yeah, the glow up is unreal. He does look a lot older in this picture. Up next, we've got Ben White. At 76 rated, I thought that was very harsh. He's had a great few seasons when he was at Leeds and then back at Brighton. Arsenal picked him up, 50 odd million pounds, and I've upgraded him for FIFA 23. I'm going with 82. I think he's just as good as Gabriel. I think they both complement each other so well. I think Gabriel is the better brute. He's a better defender. And I think Ben White's a little bit better in terms of composure, ball at his feet, but I'm not saying neither of them are bad at the other thing. I think Ben White is very good at defending, and I think Gabriel's very good with the ball as well. So they really do complement each other well, and I think Ben White deserves an 82. That would be a massive 6 upgrade in the space of a year. I almost gave him an 81, but I don't actually think Gabriel is a better centre-back than Ben White. I think they're just as good as each other. Up next, we have Rob Holding. He needs to give Gabriel the number of the guy or girl who did his hairline. Because watch this glow up. Bam! He looks so much better, doesn't he? I've also given him just a +1. Holding came on as a sub a lot last season, and actually he was incredible at just making sure we don't concede in those final 10, 15 minutes. And he's a great squad player. I'd be sad to see him go. I think Newcastle and Wolves have been linked. Aston Villa with recent injuries. I hope he stays just because he's a great player to have. Just a +1 for me, though. Up next, we have Cedric. It's a funny thing because I don't dislike him as a footballer. I think he's a decent right back, but I like him as a person even more after seeing the All or Nothing Arsenal series. You can see that everyone loves Cedric, and he's definitely going to be a manager. He's going to be a manager as he grows into that role in the next few years. I know he's doing his coaching badges already, but as a player, I don't think he's improved massively. So just a +1, just because Arsenal as a whole, as a club, have improved, and he has come in and done a good job when he's been called upon. I think just a +1 though, nothing crazy. Now, Yasu, we signed him. FIFA presumed he was going to be a centre-back. I guess that's mainly because of his height. He actually played right-back a lot for Bologna. He's played left-back as well. He's one of the most versatile defenders that Arsenal have. And there's no doubt he will get an upgrade. He was fantastic. Unfortunately, got struck with injury towards the end of the season, but I think a 79 is more than fair enough. He's a very intelligent player, 5-star weak foot, of course, but I don't think he's going to quite hit that 80 mark just yet. Big fan of Yasu, though. Then up next, we have Saliba. Now, this guy, oh my God, I cannot wait to see what his rating is. This is very difficult because everyone is hyping up Saliba. We've all seen just how good he is. He scored against Bournemouth as well with a wonderful left-footed strike. And there's no doubt after last season, Young Player of the Year in France, he's going to get a massive upgrade. I think 75 is unfair in the first place. There's no way he was only 75 rated at the start of FIFA 22. But this is the rating I'm giving him for FIFA 23. In my opinion, he's better than Gabriel. He's better than Ben White. He's at least 83 rated. It could be more. I don't know. I don't think it should be too much higher. If anything, maybe 84. He's better than most centre-backs in the Premier League, especially outside of that kind of the top five clubs. There's no one really better than him. You're looking at, Liverpool, City, Chelsea and Spurs maybe having a better centre-back than him. Otherwise, he's going to be right up there, isn't he? So I think 83 is very fair, but it could be more. He, for me, is the most improved player in our squad in the last 12 months. It is scary how good this guy is, and he's 21 years old. Next, we have our brand new signing, Zinchenko, 80 rated at the start of last season, which I guess was fair. When you're playing in such a good team, it's difficult to shine, and now we're really seeing it at Arsenal because he is one of our most technically gifted players. I think he's going to get a +2. And I think that would be more than fair because there's not many left-backs in the Premier League that are as good as he is with the ball at his feet, the fact that he can play in midfield as well. He's experienced, he's a winner. And again, he's only 25, this guy. He's got so much more to give. I think 82, I mean, it could be higher again. I don't know. He's a Man City player that's won everything except from the Champions League, of course. And he's come into the Arsenal side and for sure improved our left side. So 82 for me. Up next, we're moving on into midfield. We have Partey, 83 rated last season, I think was probably more than fair. He was average before last season. So going into FIFA 22, I think 83 was fair, but had a much, much better season. His best season in Arsenal colours. I've upgraded him to 84 for FIFA 23. I think you could argue that he's better than that as well, but I don't think they'll rate him much higher. Very, very good midfielder, one of the best at the club. And actually, he's more of a CDM now than a centre mid, so maybe I could have changed his position. But is he the best player at Arsenal? Maybe not. Is he equal with a few other players? Yes, and you'll see who those players are shortly. Up next, we have Saka. He is going to get an upgrade, 100%. He's one of the best young players in the world, let alone in the Premier League. I've upgraded him to 83. I think that is more than possible. It could be an 84. It's EA after all. They like to hype up these young players. I'm sure they would love to sign Saka as a poster boy, but they can't. Arsenal work with Pro-Evo, Pez, which is why we don't get the new faces and stuff. But Saka is... He's the one, isn't he? He is the star boy of the club, and I think 83 is probably on the low side. They might even go higher than that. But I think 83 is fair. I don't think he's better than 83. Up next, we have Erdegaard, who was given an 82 rating at the beginning of FIFA 22, which, again, might have been about right. Maybe not. His loan spell at Arsenal wasn't the best ever, but he impressed. This season, though, 84. Again, you could easily upgrade him a little bit more. Is he better than Partey at what he does? He's a better player, definitely better technically, but is he a better overall football player for the team? No, I think they're about on a similar level. So better than Saka, but there's only one player I think that's better than these guys. So 84 rated for Erdegaard. What a game against Bournemouth. Man of the match for me. And how sexy does that card look like with the Danish... the Norwegian flag and the Arsenal badge and the shirt. Oh, it looks so good. Up next, we have Smith Rowe. Is he still a cam? Is he going to play more on the left side? It wouldn't surprise me if in FIFA he's still a cam, so I've kept him there. 76 to 80. I don't think he's going to be more than 80. I think that's quite generous as it is, but for sure, he had one of the best seasons he's had. He was top scorer for us for a little while from midfield at such a young age as well. I think what's gonna be the key with Smith Rowe is just finding a position that he works best in. It's either cam or it's either left wing, and we'll see more of him this season for sure. Up next, we have Lukonga. This is one of the funniest ones. His new picture, he looks so much older, but 73 rated when he joined. I think he's definitely going to be a gold. I've upgraded him to 75. Look how much older he looks. Let me just compare them. It's like his dad's come in for the picture. Honestly, though, I think Lukonga's got a bright future. I just don't think he showed enough last season for more than a 2 upgrade. Up next, we have Nenny, 77 rated. Quite a simple, nothing special player. He just does his job really well. He's Mr. Reliable. Up by 1 to 78. I think that's more than fair. Up next, we've got Granit Xhaka. This is a really interesting one because I think that's so unfair. Yes, he's made mistakes, and those mistakes are just shown over and over and over again in the media because it's Granit Xhaka. But when you look at him, what he brings to the team and how good he is, how good that left foot is, it's criminal. I think he's going to get an 81 in FIFA, but for me, he's an 82, 83, something like that. There aren't many midfielders better than what he does in the Premier League. Just unbelievable so far this season. I think it's so unfair. And he's a centre mid, not a DM. So 79 to 81, that's what's going to happen in FIFA. I think he might even just get an 80. He will get an upgrade, I'm pretty sure. But he should be more, in my opinion. Up next, we've got Vieira, brand new signing. Yet to see him in the Premier League. I've watched him for the under-21s. He looked absolutely insane. People in training saying he's unbelievable. Could he displace a player in our team? No, not yet. But for sure, at Porto, he looked like he could be one of the best young Portuguese players in the world. He will get an upgrade, and it's going to be a tasty one. I reckon he's going to go to 76, 77, 78. I've kind of gone in the middle there. I think 77... He's going to be a very, very good player for Arsenal in the future. Weird shaped neck, very long, and he looks like the guy from Prison Break. Right, Maitland Niles. I have no idea if he's going to stay at the club, but if he does, nothing's going to change. He hasn't improved, I don't think. Not enough. I think just 75. I think his position will change, CDM to centre mid. He's played at right back. He's a good player. He's a good squad player. I wouldn't mind hanging on to him just for that, but he doesn't have a future at Arsenal. He doesn't seem like a player that really wants it. I don't know. It's difficult. Up next, we're moving on into the more attacking players. We have a player that's probably leaving on loan to Nice with an option to buy, I believe. 81 rated at the start of last season. And look, I'm not going to lie to you guys. I don't necessarily think he is worse, but I have downgraded him because he didn't show us enough last season to justify an upgrade. And I think FIFA will just continue to downgrade him. He's been going down and down and down. So my prediction is he will be 80 rated. Whether he's at Arsenal or not, I don't know. It's a shame it didn't work out because the amount of money we paid for him, and he has brought some goals and assists in important games, but he just hasn't been good enough. Up next, Nketiah doesn't look too pleased with his card there. He is going to get a pretty large upgrade. He's gone into the first team towards the end of the season. You saw this card in. He was definitely a much better player than 74 rated. So I think he will get an upgrade, and I think 77, maybe even a 78 for Eddie Nketiah, the new number 14. Superb player for the future and good backup to Jesus, but we'll go on to him in a minute. We've got Martinelli up next. See, this is where it gets, again, a bit tricky. Like, is he as good as Saka? Is he better than Smith Rowe? How do you compare these guys? So I've given Smith Rowe an 80 and Saka an 83. I've given Martinelli an 81. You could justify slightly higher, maybe even an 82. Brilliant start to the season. I think this will be his year. I actually think he's going to score more and assist more than Saka. So I think we'll see a big upgrade later on in the season. But 81, I think it's about fair. Then we've got the new signing. He didn't have a card last season. This is Marquinhos. Of course, they didn't have most of the Brazilian players at all. So I think he's going to get a 72, something like that. I just wanted to throw him in there because he is one of our players. And he's not going on loan. We are keeping him. And then, of course, we have Jesus, 83 rated at Man City. He's the main man now. He is our best player, instantly. 85 rated in Arsenal colours. I don't see Jesus not getting an upgrade purely because of how good his pre-season was and how good he's been so far this season. I mean, is there anyone better at the club than Jesus? I don't think so. I think he's 85 rated minimum. He could be more. I think you could easily give Partey, Erdegaard, and Jesus the same rating, but I don't think FIFA will. I think Jesus will be our highest rated player. And I think that was it, wasn't it? Oh, no, we have Nelson, 73 rated silver. I think that he'll get a slight upgrade, nothing crazy. He did get to a final last season with Feyenoord, of course, which was really good in Europe, the Conference League. And he will get a slight upgrade, maybe a position change as well. He played on the left, but the glow up, look at that. Beautiful. And that was it. So I'm going to leave it with Jesus. That is one beautiful card. But what I do want to say is gone are the years of Arsenal having almost one of the highest rated players in the league. You know, the old days of the Henrys, the Alexis Sanchez's, the Ozils, the Cazorlas. Now it's like our best player's 85 rated. But as I've gone through this team, you've seen we've got so many good players and they're all so young. It's really exciting times, guys. I cannot wait to see what the ratings will be. In a couple of months, we'll find out. A month and a half to 2 months, we should get the ratings coming out. So, yeah, we will see. But thank you for watching, guys. Career mode back tomorrow, and I will see you then.